you process products here. You had mentioned into fluff, into various forms. How do you connect with your customer? Do you call on them? Do they knock on your door? How does that work? I mean, I'm sure there's lots of entrepreneurs out there working on products that could possibly use what you sell as a raw material. How do you match up with these guys?
We start sending out samples to everyone we can find and hoping that we get a hit on a new product. Every product that's being sold out of the carpet industry in the form of waste today, we took it out of the landfill over the years and started processing. This company started off running the selvages off the side of a latex oven and putting it into a jute and hair pad many, many years ago in Philadelphia. When I first went to work here, people weren't buying the soft back carpet. They weren't buying the thread waste out of the carpet mill. They weren't buying the cone yarn out of the carpet mill. And today, we pay quite a few $1 million for that waste. But any pound of waste that I get is a dead loss to the carpet industry. Because any pound that I buy, they're losing $1 plus a pound on the waste. So, I mean, you could call that their share of holding up this market.
Okay. They're anxious to get rid of it.
They're anxious to get rid of it, but more importantly, every mill over the years has strived to make less and less waste. And they've been very good at it.
But talk about that, the green aspects, and all the mills have to have a green story to tell, and they have cut, I guess, water use, and as you say, they've cut waste. How has that affected what you do? Does that mean less coming in the front door here?
No, we buy from all three of the major mills and a lot of the smaller mills, and we just buy a larger.
Yeah. That hasn't
variety.
Appreciably reduced what they make available to you.
Every mill has strived to be better in conserving their assets and by not making as much waste.
I see.
And today, if they don't, they're not going to be in business either. So they're looking after what they have to do.
The number of collectors that you work with, and you say these are all over the country?
All over the country.
How many are we talking about?
About 15 different collectors.
Really? And they're all over geographically?
All over geographically, over the nation and California.
How many guys are there in the country like you that are processors?
That are processing it? Well, if you consider the collectors that are sharing, there's probably 8 or 10.
Okay.
With us being the largest.
I see. And if somebody gets in the business in Iowa, they're going to come to you and say, can I ship this stuff to you? And you
I would hope so.
Yeah. And you tell them what form you want it, what you want them to do to the raw material for you to accept it.
That is correct.
I see. That's why all the trucks outside that I saw.
Well, this is just a small portion of the trucks. We got another facility below town that has about 500 trucks on the lot.
I see. So you bring in an awful lot of stuff in here.
Yes,
sir. I can see that. What's the competitive situation like for recyclers?
Having a viable product and striving to make new products from any waste form that comes down the line in years to come. I was running post-consumer waste 25 years before CARE.
Really?
When it was totally unpopular to do. But it was just one of those things. It was the cheapest commodity out there. When I was getting it for free back then, I'm now paying, from 6 cents to 11 per pound for the goods.
I see, and this is pretty much universal? I mean,
It's universal, whether it be the waste out of the carpet industry or the waste from the collectors.
You have to pay for it.
I have to pay for it, yes, sir. They can't do it for free.
A lot of retailers, it seems to me, have built into their system dumping carpet that they collect from homes and apartments and so on. So a collector would be, they would find him as an asset just to take it off their hands.
Yes, if they didn't set up in the same location, and instead of charging people to bring the waste in, a lot of these guys went around and started paying for it. And they created a lot of their own misery by trying to go where one man was already at because he already had something set up and buying the business rather than going out and finding their own.
I see, and that's
the collectors are their worst own enemy.
I see.
Because they go out and infight with each other over a territory and wind up losing a nominal fee from whoever they're taking it into to a point where they're paying a penny or two a pound for it.
I see, I see. Do you see interesting things happening in the collection arena? And I'm talking about floor covering retailers, people that redo apartment buildings, that kind of thing.
No, sir, because I really don't interact with floor covering retailers or...
I guess what I'm getting at, it seems like there's an awful lot of carpet that still goes into landfill, and there's a lot of opportunity out there for these collectors.
I don't know the exact amount, but I would imagine that CARES only accounting for maybe less than 5% of the carpet.
And the rest is an opportunity.
Rest of it's an opportunity that's going to landfill. It's the fact that these collectors, if they're going to set up, need to set up in a city where no one's at and make their own niche.
Is that happening, or will that happen?
Some people are. Some people are still trying to fight over a proven area.
I see.
And I had a young man that just moved to a new territory this week.
Setting up shop.
That is correct.
And is this virgin territory, or is he?
It's, no one is collecting there right now.
So he can take it off there?
He can take off and be the first one there.
I see. So it seems like the only way to go here is up, that this will grow in terms of the number of...
Well, it will grow until, according to the face fiber that is used by the carpet mills. Once there's less and less nylon or more polyester or less polypropylene and more of something else, recyclers will just have to find a way to recycle it. Or they won't have as much to run.
So the way your business has run over time is you find a customer that says, okay, I want fluff, I want this.
I make a product to the best of my ability, and then I go out and try to sell it.
Okay. So then, but for each one of the products that you produce, you had to go out and buy a machine or a process or whatever?
Or build a machine or whatever.
I see. Interesting. You build these machines?
We have some proprietary machinery that we let no one see.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So the processes that you have in-house, either ones you bought or ones you developed, talk about those. How many of those processes are there?
Several. That's about all I'll say on it.
Okay. So that's because this is proprietary? Is it?
It's proprietary, yes.
I see. But these have been things that you decided to buy or develop once you got in the business because you saw a market for it?
Yes.
I see.
Now, where I started out with one line, running post-consumer carpet, and we're up to quite a few today.
Interesting. Is that proprietary too?
Have any?
Yeah.
7.
7. That's very interesting. The breakout between post-consumer and post-industrial, I suspect that most of the stuff coming in here is post-consumer.
No, sir. We still run about 40% post-industrial.
Really?
Yes.
And the better business is out there, the better your business is in here.
That is correct.
So
the more support America gives the carpet industry in buying their products, the better my business is.
I see. So I guess during the recession, they were pretty tough times for collectors out there.
They were tough times, but recycling is a business that's good in good times and better in bad times, because people want to put cheaper products so that they can hold their margins.
I see. But I guess you are a good economy, sort of a precursor of the economy. When your business is good, that means the economy is good, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You said you were around a good deal before the CARE organization was. Talk about the CARE organization. What's that meant to your business and to the whole proposition of recycling carpet?
I don't know that CARE has meant a lot for us other than to send out a list of the collectors around the United States. But we have put more collectors in place since CARE started. And once we start buying from them, we usually buy 100% of what they have for forever.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of
CARE, CARE has tried to have ideals about polyester, but it's going to take people with experimentation and new products, and you're going to fail a lot, but you're going to try many things. I've got a product that I'm trialing that I've been working on for over a year. It's taken the rebond that these collectors are pulling up and 50% of the polyester carpet and putting it together to make a residential pad. If that ever works, then we could give the ideal to the carpet industry and they'd be their own recycler.
Interesting. So this is something that hopefully in the next months
yes,
and years...
Yes, sir, but it may take 2-3 years to. And then at the end of the day, you got to walk test it. You got to prove that it's equally as good as a rebond, and you got to be able to make it where it can compete in price. That's the next biggest obstacle.